Ordinance. Physicians were worried that people were not getting enough sunlight, so they said that your building could only go up to 21 stories. If you wanted any higher, only 20% of the building could go up higher. That allowed for more interior lighting as well as for more lighting to hit the sidewalks. I'm going to be talking about a lot of Chicago nicknames. One of our nicknames is the City of Bridges due to how many bridges we've been under. The one coming up with that train about to pass by it, that is the Wall Street Bridge. That is one of 4 double-decker bridges. And all of our bridges are functioning bridges. They all open up. They're known as Tranian bascule or Chicago-style bridges. A bascule basically means that it's a seesaw. So behind this wall, there's a giant piece of concrete that counteracts the weight of the bridge, and then it kind of pivots up at a fulcrum, and they are able to open up. So that is how they all open up. They used to open up regularly with so many ships going through here. Today, most of the boats that navigate the river regularly, we fit perfectly fine under them without a need to open them. And they're very noisy, by the way. But they still do open up. That is for about a month and a half during the fall, and then again during a month and a half during the spring. During the spring in May, they were opening up on Wednesdays and Saturday mornings, and that's for all of the sailboats to go out to the lake. And then during the fall again, they'll come in flocks, start opening them up for all those sailboats to go back to their winter dry dock homes. We might be able to see one of those. There's one bridge that stays open. Sometimes we can catch a glimpse of it. Coming up next, as soon as we get out from under the Franklin Street Bridge, if we look over to our left-hand side, we're going to see a contextual architecture. This is a postmodern building. Contextual architecture basically just means that the architect looked at its surroundings for inspiration for the building. So this one right here, take a look at the color of the building and then take a look at the color of the river. It's almost the exact same green, and right here where the river takes a bend to go down to the South Branch, the building also takes a bend. Has anybody ever seen Ferris Bueller's Day Off? This is where his dad worked at in that movie.
Okay.
And right now we've reached a pretty important juncture. Do we see that Y right there? That is this area right here, the Y. This is where the main branch of the river splits off into the south and the north. This is known as a Wolf Point. But right here we have some incredible architecture. These 2 towers that are in front of me were both built in 2016, 2017, so they're fairly new. But they used some pretty incredible engineering to get built there. These lots of land remained empty for many, many years. First of all, because they're very small, and second of all, because they have functioning railroads running underneath them. So they had to really, really think about how they were going to do it. You see these portholes under here? That is letting all the exhaust from the trains breathe. Quickly, if you look over behind you, you'll see that one open bridge. That is how they all open up. That one used to be their railroads. There's no longer a railroad that goes through there, but they still maintain ownership of the bridge. It remains open for the majority of part. They just close it once a year. So this first building with this parabolic curve, so that curve allows for the bottom of the building to be kind of pinched in. The curve kind of makes it look like a giant hot pocket sleeve. There's another one at the top. The top one is simply decorative. The bottom one's the one that's structural. Those large pillars that we see inside of that, that's what's holding the building up. On this next one, the one that's also to our right-hand side, that gray wall, that is the only thing that is anchoring that building to the ground. Like I said, where that gray wall is at, that is the only area they had to build there. So they used some of the strongest steel known to man. And that one, they were very worried about the stability of the building. The wind is going to be a skyscraper's biggest enemy, so they thought the stem's so small that wind is going to blow it right back and forth. So what they did at the very, very top, they put 2 water dampers, 2 very large pools of water that hold about the same water as 12 Olympic-sized pools. And these 2, they counteract the water between them. So if the wind is blowing this way, they just add more water to this one. And it's all self-calibrated, so they are like detected by the motion, by the wind. That way the people at the very, very top paying the most dollar for those beautiful top offices with a great view down the river don't get any motion sickness.